All right, got another OU replay. This time between I think it's Ivan and Val. I think this is Val's maybe first or second tournament that he's been in. So I mean, it's good to see people like making progress and like constantly participating, win or lose. Um, I mean, if you know me by now, I mean, I usually do these, watch them for the first time, do like a team analysis, kind of like turn by turn play and like how I think things should go and like just overall analysis of the battle. But what we've got here, team preview looks. I mean, the teams are kind of interesting looking, pretty much. Val's got Magirna, Melmetal, Swampert, Hatterene, Scizor, and Tapabulu. Um, and you see Ivan's got Lando T, Octavish, Auroras, Moltres, Magirna, and Porygon 2. Um, these are honestly pretty unique teams. Like, you don't really see them too often. So, team preview is kind of going to be a challenge a bit. But I mean, just from team composition, the only rock setter for Val would be Swampert, and if he is running a defogger, probably Scizor, and then Hatterene's going to be like his magic bounce to kind of anti-hazard a bit, and then Tapu Bulu just like I mean not Cinderace, like Rillaboom Light to kind of just not can't really do as much, but I mean still packs a punch. And then Magearna can honestly run a multitude of sets. Same thing with well not really Melmetal, but Melmetal can run like either Choice Band, Assault Vest, or like the Protect leftover set to kind of like scout. Then you got Ivan's team. Looks like he's bringing an ice team, a little hell team. So like Slush Rush, Arctovish, Aurora's is dropping Hail. Lando T is probably the rock setter. Moltres probably up there for hazard control. Magearna, not really too sure. And then Porygon 2, not really sure either because I mean this team isn't really a trick room, but I mean it could just be a bulky Spadea for physical wall. But for leads, honestly, I can see maybe Scizor or possibly Swampert leading for him because those two really don't have much to worry about. And then for Ivan, probably Lando T. But let's go and get started. This is round one. So he led Hatterene actually. Okay. He goes Lando T. Hat can't stay in. Um wow, so Sludge Bomb on Lando T. Nice. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, so Val's running Trick Room. Draining Kiss on Magearna. Can't really do much to Magearna at all here. So definitely um I would have switched out just because like there's really not much reason to stay in. He goes to Moltres to kind of sponge some hits. Then double goes into Swampert here. I think going into Swampert initially rather than um let Hatterene take damage would have been more beneficial. Porygon 2 can just kind of soak up a Scald. So, I mean, this Trick Room turns did kind of get wasted a bit. But, I mean, at least he gets up rocks here. Teleports out, goes to his Moltres to defog, but probably at the same time, I mean, he can kind of whittle down Swampert a bit. Because the Spadef drop really does hurt his Scald, but he flip turns out. He goes into Magearna. Not an advised switch in because I mean obviously has to worry about Heat Wave or Mystical Fire or whatever else he's carrying, but I mean it benefits him here. Then goes Melmetal. Another kind of questionable switch in because Melmetal, even though it probably can, it's probably running Thunder Punch. It doesn't really want to take and risk that burn, so he doubles back. So he goes to double Iron Bash and he catches the burn, which is really unfortunate. Goes for double arm bash again. Guess he might have been expecting to double back into Lando, but he gets the flinch. Going for Thunder Punch here might be the best move. Okay, so he goes back into Magearna, probably to set up Trick Room again. Another turn I wouldn't have really advised because, I mean, a Mystical Fire would have been too obvious. Oh, it's carrying weakness policy. Okay. Oh, I thought he was gonna get up a trick room. It goes in a hat. I guess maybe hat's just fodder at this point. But personally, I think maybe Swampert would have been better. Goes back into Magerno. Um, that's just an easy sack at that point. Goes Melmetal. Tebow. I mean, he can't really at this point. His team honestly can't get past Moltres. It looks like. What's his Swampert carrying? Stealth Rock, Scald. If his Swampert's carrying Toxic, that is really the only way he would be able to beat Moltres. But it will be a very long, drawn out process to beat Moltres. Okay, he gets the freeze on Moltres, but again, like he can't really do much back to it. I think the problem here is like running double steal, well, triple steals, and not really having an effective way to deal with um fire types really sucks because he also ran Hatterene as well as Tapu Bulu. So the team is honestly very weak to Moltres, and he might actually beat Moltres here. It looks like, yeah. So he beats Moltres here, but still, it's an issue of the team is really weak to Moltres, which shouldn't be. But I mean, it's one of his first times getting into tournament, so I think everything's a learning experience for both sides. Swampert comes out. I'm guessing he has to be carrying Toxic. Gets up rocks. Like I said, I honestly would click Toxic here because he goes Ice Beam, and that was his fourth move. Yeah, so not having Toxic on Swampert kind of does hurt him a bit. I mean, now Scizor can really handle Auroras pretty well. So I mean, sorry, it's probably best to just flip turn or yeah, just sack off Swampert. But Scizor could have came in cleanly, and then Scizor can either SD here. SD would have been like the best possible play, just because of yep, and he SDs because that's the only thing that can really kind of keep him in the game a bit. Goes for a bullet punch. That does a lot of damage. Okay, so this special Landorus. I mean, it doesn't have sheer force, but it is kind of putting in work for him at least here. Is he carrying Roost? We'll find out. Goes for bullet punch again, and Porygon is just too bulky. So Scizor's gone. He goes into Tapu Bulu. Um, Personally, I wouldn't have gone for that at that range just because he could have killed it with maybe another attack. But Hale's gone, and now he's down, and that would have really helped with Lando because Lando can't really do much too. Oh, never mind, I forget he's special. But that's round one. I think when I post this, I mean, Vel can kind of look at my analysis and like see where he might have messed up and stuff like that. But overall, it's good regardless, and you learn stuff from losses, and any battling is a learning experience, and I think that's a good thing to take from it. But here is game two. Um, Ivan brought the same team. Vale brought a different team. Looks like the electric spam team with Cinderace, Latios, and Mew. And I wonder what Urshifu that is. Probably single strike, maybe. But let's put this on slow. Music off. For leads, honestly, for Vale, I can see him either leading with Regieleki, Tapu Fini, or Cinderace, because I mean both those get off quick U-turns and put on pressure against his team. And for Ivan, I mean stand maybe going. Lando is probably the best because if he does lead with either Cinderace or um, Regieleki, Lando can check them a bit. But let's go ahead and get started. Porygon 2 comes out against the Mew. I'm assuming the Mew is probably his hazard setter. Hazard setter probably gonna set up some screens. He teleports, goes into Metagross. I mean not Metagross, Moltres. I can't read. Gets up the quick defog. Volt switches out. Not really too sure why he would vote switch out. I'm guessing his Mew's not carrying taunt, but Regieleki comes out, and Regieleki just pretty much gets hard walled by Lando. Personally, I would not have stayed in there just because of that general just fear of what Lando could do. Because clicking Earthquake is really not what he wanted. He used Explosion on Magearna. Another kind of questionable play because I mean, just typing advantage doesn't do anything. But I know it was probably to get up screens and like reduce the turns, but at the same time, it gives Magearna the Soul Heart boost. And Mew would not have been the switch in to make here because Cinderace puts the most pressure against his team, and Cinderace would have immediately forced out Magearna, and nothing on his team really wants to come into a was that little fire kick thing he does. Gets a Roarville up, Volt switches. I think just for Vale, it just comes down to more so thinking through his turns a bit more. Because I mean, in singles, it comes down to thinking also not just in the turn in front of you, but thinking probably a few turns ahead and think like what and setting yourself up for an end game. And now he brings out Cinderace, but it's a kind of a little too late because the Aurora Veil's up. He goes for U-turn again, which I mean for maintaining momentum, yeah, that's good, but I wouldn't have recommended it honestly. Earth Power on the Mew. Goes for a defog. Gets rid of the veils and the hazards. Aurorus comes back out. Um, yeah, he's already burned. I mean, Volt Switch would have been the more optimal move instead of clicking Wisp there because nothing that would have. Mm, I think this thing gets Ice Shard. I'm not sure if ice moves are boosted by hail, but I wouldn't have recommended that switch in. Let's see what attack he goes for. So he goes for Aura Sphere. That Magearna is bulky. Goes for Psychic, which I don't really get that either too much, but I wonder if he's carrying Mystical Fire on this Latios. And Arctovich has the Slush Rush, so he doesn't really have anything to really handle Ice Spam, especially like lacking a Steel type. So Tapu Koko comes out. He goes for Roost. I personally would have went for like T-Boat just to get a kill. He goes Lando, and now hopefully he went for maybe Dazzling Gleam. Yep, good play, good play. And Lando is gone, and I think he can bring in Arctovish, but I don't think Arctovish is fast enough for Tapu Koko. But we'll see. Okay, Fish's Ring. Yeah, he was fast enough. Urshifu comes out. He goes into Moltres. Ooh, don't catch him. And he caught the burn. Yeah, that sucks. And this is Rapid Strike too, so he would have really been able to put in work against Moltres if he didn't get the burn. Because nothing on his team really would have wanted to take Surging Strike. whatever it's called. So I think that would have been the more optimal play. I'm curious of this Latios moveset just because he's going for Psychic on a clearly Magearna. Goes for Aura Spear. That's gone. But it still looks like it comes down to Arctovish is going to really be the pain in the ass here. And yeah, sacking Urshifu here is probably the best move just because, I mean, he can't really do anything. And it's Rocky Helmet, which is another kind of odd set. I personally, I mean, he should be running Aqua Jet on an Urshifu S. I mean Urshifu Rapid Strike, just because it's that damage to get off. Mew comes in, gets hit with the Vicious Rend. Um, hmm. Yeah, I think this might actually, if he did have the little, is there a thing that can make Hail last longer? I'm not too sure. Okay, so I guess not. And Latios comes out, and this is kind of where the move set kind of matters. So Draco gets rid of the Arctovish, but the thing is, now Porygon 2 just walls it. So if he were carrying, let's say, Psyshock instead of Psychic, he'd be able to handle Porygon 2 a little bit better, but it's still it will be an uphill battle a bit. He roost here, so that's that fourth move. Yeah, it's pretty much GG at this point because I mean he keeps roosting up. Um and he toxics that which was pretty much unnecessary, but it puts him on a timer. It basically seals the deal that Latios loses. And he would need a crit here, or probably several, and just timing and stuff like that. But I'm gonna end it here. I mean, it's pretty clear that Ivan won here. Like I said, it was Vale's probably first, second tournament, but definitely some room for improvement. Um, hopefully he sees this and kind of looks back at it and sees like kind of where some mistakes are made and maybe post his team. I'm gonna definitely hit him up to see if he wants some team building assistance. But overall, I mean, good first round of the tournament. Ivan won, progressed on. If you like the video, drop a like, subscribe, join the Facebook group if you do play OU, whether it's any level, just to kind of get the competitiveness flowing a bit. And that's all we got to say today, guys. And have a good day as usual.